Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another game featuring your Laredo Heat, where in this occasion they will face the Mississippi Brilla here in Mississippi. Folks, we have a must-win situation here for your Laredo Heat as they are 5 points behind second place, Midland Odessa, with one game in hand. Midland faces off against the Aztecs tonight. So if you are a Laredo Heat fan, tonight you also cheer for Austin, as a victory for Austin will clinch the PDL Mid-South Division title and will deny the Sockers a chance for further points. Ladies and gentlemen, a good matchup here featuring the third place Laredo Heat and the fourth place Mississippi Brilla. As both teams wanting victories and wanting to win. Mississippi wanting to correct their record a little bit, adjust it, make it a little bit better, get some points on the board. Your Laredo Heat are in a must-win situation if they want to keep their playoff hopes alive. Your Laredo Heat will face Mississippi tonight, on Thursday of next week, and following Saturday. So we have three straight games against Mississippi, almost win. And your Laredo Heat will close out its regular season on a road trip to Houston, where they will face the Dutch Lions, folks. Remaining 4 games, including tonight, are a must-win for your Laredo Heat once again if they are in any hopes of playoff contention. Austin will face off against Midland, first versus second place of the Mid-South board, twice before Midland will end its season against the Dutch Lions as well. Folks, players are in the middle of the field, and I will give you the lineup for the hosting Brilla. At goal, Carl Blundell. Number 14, Tom Gavin will play defense, accompanied by Cedric Mutishi, wearing number 4. Dustin Ashley, number 12, will play defense as well, alongside Brown, number 6. Andrew Power, number 8, will be in the midfield alongside James Gooley, who wears number 16. Amin Ramani, number 7, will assist them as well. They will run a 4-3-3, so 3 forwards, Lucas Almeida, Philip Buffington, and Stephen Robertson. They have Addison Watson at goal, number 0. Case Kingery, number 13. Harrison Ruckle, number 17. Dear Abdehu, number 23. Luke Mason, Len Smith, and Chandler Gagnon. And now, the starting lineup for your Laredo Heat. At goal, number 1, Jorge Ortega. Number 17, playing defense, Francisco Lara. Number 14, playing defense, Sebastian Ramirez. Number 3, playing defense, Jorge Rocha. Number 18, playing defense, Omar Lopez. Number 4, captain for your Laredo Heat, midfielder, Jair Hernandez. Number 8, midfield, Joao Montero. Number 28, midfield, Miguelito El Torero Fernandez. Number 20, Rafael Ferreira, forward. 7, Salvador Chavalunas, forward. And number 27, Irving Villanueva. Folks, we'll be back shortly after we honor our nation with the playing of the national anthem. Stick with us when we come back. Soccer coming at you live from Mississippi. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we prepare for the battle for three. Don't forget to join our conversation of tonight's game on Twitter by using the hashtag VamosLaredo, that's VAMOSLAREDO, and hashtag Heat10YRS. Ladies and gentlemen, your Laredo Heat are coming into this game wearing their red socks, black shorts, red jerseys with black and white trimming, where the hosting Mississippi Brilla are wearing all sky blue. The team in green are the referees of the afternoon. Crucial game here, folks. Battle for three. 3 points is what both teams are looking for. The Laredo Heat are not in the position to drop any points, so a tie would not hurt them, but it wouldn't aid them either. Laredo Heat are looking for 3 points off of this road game. We'll be back in Laredo on Thursday against Mississippi. So 3 back-to-back games against the same team. We'll give enough time for each team to make adjustments, knowing how they played against each other previously, and their opponents knowing as well. Folks, the ball is set in the middle of the belly button of the field. Your Laredo Heat are standing ready, standing tall. Mississippi hosting the Heat for the first time this season. First encounter of the season against each other. Folks, that ball is rolling. Ladies and gentlemen, Mississippi controlling the first possession, but your Laredo Heat have recovered nicely now as the ball is played on the far side of your screen with Omar Lopez as he shares it now with Sebastian Ramirez. Ramirez will control it, look forward, and sends the ball up top, trying to find Edwin Villanueva, who receives with his chest, brings the ball down, and shares the ball now with captain Jair Hernandez. Hernandez wanting to look for Omar Lopez, and that ball sails out of bounds. First throw-in of the afternoon for the Mississippi Brilla. Throw-in wasted as that possession was to the Heat. Quickly now the Heat look for possession as they control the ball near side of your screen now with Chava Luna. Luna, who scored four goals in 4 consecutive games for the Heat, looks with Joao Montero. Montero trying to share with Frank Lara. That ball sails out of bounds and another throw-in for the Brilla. Looking up top now. Jorge Rocha follows the action. There's a cross inside the box. No one there for the Brilla. However, the Heat try to send a clearance now. Joao Montero will recover. Miguelito Toro Fernandez now to Francisco Lara. Lara shares in the middle. Fernandez once again looks back with Jorge Rocha. And Rocha will give to the man in all yellow, Jorge Ortega. Sebastian Ramirez now with possession for the Heat. He goes inside. El Toro Fernandez rolls, steps, goes, picks up the pace. Gives forward to Salvador Chava Luna. Luna turns, gives, and he's trying to find Rafael Ferreira on the opposite wing. No good. Brilla recover nicely as they control possession in the middle of the field. Off a couple bounces, they still in possession now. Luna forced to recover. Brown. Gully. Jair goes down. Montero with possession. He looks for Seba. Seba sees it sail by, this time to Omar Lopez. Sebastian still with the ball. Now back to Jorge Ortega. Ortega will share with his tocayo, Rocha. Towards the center now with Hernandez. That ball finds itself in the feet of Sebastian Ramirez now. As he steps, fakes, inside, decides to continue his path. The Heat turn possession over, and quickly now the Brilla have a one-on-one now. Ortega with a one-on-one. That shot goes in for goal. And quickly now your Laredo Heat are down 1-0 after a mixed play by Omar Lopez, Sebastian Ramirez, and Jair Hernandez. Ortega gets beaten, and the Laredo Heat go down quickly with 3 minutes into the game. 1-0. As we resume play now, your Laredo Heat now having to start this game almost with a 1-goal disadvantage. Early goal, Hernandez looks for the surprise, trying to find Omar Lopez. Lopez brings the ball down. That ball sails out of play. Throw in once again for the Brilla. Ball sailing far, intercepted by the Heat. Ferreira brings the ball down, and the Brilla once again with possession. Foul on the play. Hernandez hockey checks one of the Brilla players. It's hard to see their numbers. They contrast lightly. On this wing, Robertson, however, with possession. Frank Lara battling for it. Robertson beats Lara. Jair Hernandez gets a deflection on it, and watch out because here are the Brilla once again as they get across inside. Robertson trying to get a flick on it. Hernandez slides. Recovered now by the Heat. Rocha back to Chavaluna. Luna back to Rocha. And Rocha fakes inside and gives off to Chava Luna. Luna picks up possession, looks, and finds Edwin Villanueva. Villanueva trying to find Joao Montero. Montero has the ball as he's sailing, quickly picks up the pace now, slows down, steps on the ball, relaxes, sends across inside to Villanueva. Villanueva now to Ferreira. Ferreira shoots! Goal! Ladies and gentlemen, Rafael Ferreira puts his first goal of the season into the net, ties this game up, and your Laredo Heat have knotted this game up once again, this time at 1. Folks, Rafa Ferreira making it happen off of the pass by Joao Montero and the deflection of Evelyn Villanueva to send that ball past him on a flick. And your Laredo Heat have given this game new definition after conceding early on in this game. Rafael Ferreira picks it up once again, this time to Miguel Toro Fernandez, now to Jair Hernandez. Hernandez sees, looks, recovers, this time gives off to Omar Lopez, far side of your screen. Omar Lopez sends across inside to nobody, and Joao Montero late to get to it. However, El Torero Fernandez will pick up and give to Rocha, back to El Torero. Torero in danger of turning it over. Torero gets a flick on that one, back to Jorge Ortega. And Ortega gives this time to Sebastian Ramirez. Ramirez also Omar Lopez. Villanueva wanting to send out a beautiful heel pass, however intercepted by the Brilla. And now the Brilla feeling the pressure by the Laredo Heat as they turn this ball over out of play. Throw-in coming up for the Heat. Ferreira wastes no time at all. This time gives to Lopez. Back to Ferreira, the man who scored the equalizer here for your Laredo Heat, losing possession for the Heat. And now the Brilla have a 2-on-2 opportunity as they pick up the pace. That ball looking for Robertson. Off the pass by Buffington. There's a cross inside. Ortega has to come off his 6-yard box and does so nicely as he's able to sandwich the ball after it looked like he was about to lose it. Covered nicely now to his tocayo Rocha with possession. Back to Ortega. Ortega to Sebastian. Now to Omar Lopez. Lopez feeds the middle to with Jair Hernandez. Now to Villanueva. Now to Montero. Omar Lopez far side of your screen. Gives with Ferreira. Ferreira losing it. And that ball sails out of bounds once again. Throw-in coming up. Tom Gavin to throw it inside. Sebastian Ramirez able to get to that one. Back to El Toro Fernandez. Toro Fernandez looking for a flick. Losing possession now are the Heat. And the Brilla have another chance here. Sebastian Ramirez, however, recovered nicely. Came back to help his defensive line. And is able to give that ball to Jorge Ortega. Joao Montero fighting for that ball. That ball sails out of play. Throw in for the Brilla once again. Brown to put it in play. That ball is cut by Frank Lara in possession now for the Brilla in the middle of the field. That ball being moved nicely by the Brilla. They're looking for some sort of offensive momentum to bring their team back up by a goal. Sebastian Ramirez fighting for it. He cuts nicely, and that ball sails out of play. Throw in once again in dangerous territory for the Heat. Brown will switch sides as he's going to throw it inside all the way from the opposite wing. Throw in going into the heart of the Heat. Deflected now by the Heat. There's a wild shot, a scissor kick, no good. That ball sails out of bounds. Goal kick coming up for Jorge Ortega. The Heat come out playing possession. Far side of the screen with Omar Lopez. Towards the center, this time to Rafael Ferreira. Back to Jair Hernandez, captain for the Laredo Heat tonight. Sebastian Ramirez now. Back to Ferreira. Ferreira losing his footing. The Brilla pick it up once again. Ortega has to come off his 18-yard box and sails that ball far this time, reaching Salvador Chavaluna. Luna has the ball and possession. He picks up the pace. He gets stripped. He goes down. No foul on the play. The ref says get up. Joao Montero will recover for the Heat, though. Miguelito El Toro Fernandez in the middle of the field with possession. Gives inside. This time to Jair Hernandez. Hernandez, far side of the screen with Omar Lopez. Lopez has possession. This time to Miguelito El Toro Fernandez. Toro Fernandez sends a flick pass. This time to Lopez. Lopez will sail. Lopez has it inside the box. And the flag goes up for offsides. Torero doesn't believe it. And a free kick coming up for the Brilla as they waste no time at all. Ashley with the ball this time to Brown. Brown is going to feed inside, and the Brilla are looking for some sort of chemistry between each other. There's a foul on the play. Frank Laddock gets called for it. Another free kick coming up. As I was saying, they're looking for some sort of chemistry, some sort of momentum going forward. As they were quickly equalized by a strike by Rafael Ferreira. Now the Brilla are playing the long ball game. Robertson receives. Deflected by Salvador Chavaluna, and that ball sails out of play. Brown once again to send a dagger into the armor of your Laredo Heat. Brown looks like he's going to do the long jump here as he gets quite a few yards out. Brown sends that ball inside. That has a curl. There's a header on, and that ball sails over the post of Jorge Ortega. And a goal kick coming up for Ortega. He sails with Sebastian Ramirez. Fernandez recovers nicely. Torero loses it. Joao Montero picks it up. Has Chavaluna on the near side of your screen, folks. As he controls possession for the Heat. He gives off to Francisco Lara. Lara with the ball sends across inside, more like a shot, and that ball sails beyond the post, out of bounds. Goal kick coming up for Blundo. The long ball game once again by the Brilla. Ortega now. With his tocayo Rocha. Back to Ortega. Ortega to Sebastian Ramirez. Ramirez with a long ball looking for Ferreira. Ferreira gets a flick on it. Eating Villanueva nowhere near it. However, the Brilla pick it up and recover as they hold possession now. Far side of your screen. Another flick pass, this time intercepted by Omar Lopez as he dribbles between two. Holds the ball. Fakes inside, goes back outside. Flick on that ball. Blast touch by the Brilla. Out of bounds. Throw in coming up for your Laredo Heat with Sebastian Ramirez sending this ball forward. Forehead by the Brilla. However, your Laredo Heat will continue to apply the pressure and keep searching for this turnover. Offsides on the play. Free kick coming up for the Heat. Ortega. Back to his tocayo Rocha. Rocha back to Ortega. Sebastian Ramirez now. And that ball looking for Lopez, and that ball sails out of play. Throw-in coming up for the Brilla once again. Excuse me, there was an offsides on that play. Free kick. The long ball being played by the Brilla once again, as this one is in danger of being turned over. Robertson picks up possession once again for the Brilla as he goes inside. And the Brilla playing possession once again. Power. That ball to Gavin. Now to Ramani. Gavin once again. A long ball now. Far side of your screen, folks. Omar Lopez has it. Gives inside to Sandy Villanueva with a shot, and that ball deflected. Villanueva still with a couple of flicks. Villanueva still inside the box. He goes down. No foul on the play. No whistle is blown. He is told to get up. Player down around the 20th yard line. Play will stop for a few moments. Folks, don't forget to join our conversation by using the hashtag VamosLaredo, VAMOSLAREDO, and hashtag Heat10YRS. Look for us on Twitter, folks. Like us on Facebook by searching the handle Laredo Heat SC. And for everything else, Laredo Heat, please go to www.laredoheatsc.com for everything Laredo Heat. You can find score updates, merchandise, upcoming games, remaining schedules, and everything else for your Laredo Heat by just visiting www.laredoheatsc.com. 15 minutes into the first half, folks. Your Laredo Heat are knotted up at 1 goal apiece against the Mississippi Brilla, where the Heat are looking for 3 points. And the Brilla are looking for 3 points as well. But these 3 points are crucial for your Laredo Heat if they want to keep their playoff contention hopes alive. They are 5 points behind Midland Odessa. With 1 game in hand. These next games are crucial for your Heat as they will have 3 matches straight against the Brilla. 1 here in Mississippi and 2 in Laredo. That'll be on Thursday and Saturday of next week. And your Laredo Heat will close out its regular season by visiting Houston as they face the Dutch Lions once again. Play will resume. Throw in by the Heat. There's a fair play. Villanueva will give it back to Blundell, and Blundell will get this game back on track as he punts it forward. Lara cuts it. That ball still in possession of the Brilla. Jair will recover now to Lara. Lara to Montero. Montero. This time to Chava Luna. Luna has it, holds it, goes inside. Still Chava Luna. He gives off to Ortega. Frank Lara now near side of your screen. Lara tries to send Montero forward. Brown will get there first and send this one out of play. Throw-in coming up for your Laredo Heat as they are knocking on the door once again to score another goal here in Mississippi. Lara. And the referee applies a yo-yo and says, this time you're too far back. Villanueva back to Lara. Lara dribbles around, goes outside. This time inside gives off to Chava Luna. Luna almost losing it. Villanueva recovers. Villanueva gives off to Jair Hernandez. Hernandez will send it to the far side of your screen with Lopez. Lopez loses it, and the Brilla are now once again on an offensive rhythm here. Lopez comes back, cuts, sends this one out of play, and a throw-in coming up for the Brilla. Gavin sends it inside. As he looks for Buffington. Montero has it, cuts inside. And still Montero. Montero gives off to Lara. There's a cross, a shot, punt. Field goal opportunity, no good. From Ferreira. Blundell sends his ball far and up, and is cut now by Francisco Lara. Jair Hernandez with a forehead once again. Montero battling for it. The Brilla recovered nicely. Robertson looks to have possession now. As he picks up the pace, Jorge Rocha intercepts. Jorge Rocha will just watch this ball sail out of bounds and give Jorge Ortega another goal kick. Ortega to his tocayo Rocha. Back to Ortega. Ball switches play to Sebastian Ramirez now with Jair Hernandez. Hernandez tries to send Francisco Lara forward. Brown watches that ball. Brown cuts it. That ball sails out of bounds. Last touched by Brown and the Brilla. Throw in for the Heat. Lara to El Torero Fernandez. Fernandez inside with Jair Hernandez. Hernandez this time to Montero. Montero back to Jair. Jair this time inside to Ferreira. Ferreira sends a flick forward, trying to send Torero. Going. Miguel Torero Fernandez inside the box. Sends a cross inside. Deflected once again by the Brilla. And the Laredo Heat will have the first corner of the afternoon from the far end sector of your screen. Design play now coming up from the Heat. Lara loses it. Brilla are in a 2-on-3 opportunity here as that ball deflected by Ferreira. Lopez will recover and give off to Ortega, who's wearing all yellow this afternoon. Ortega will send this ball forward, trying to find Jair Hernandez. Hernandez gets a forehead on it this time to Francisco Lara. Lara dribbles around the slide tackle of Brown, and Lara will give off to Chava Luna. Luna back to Jair. Jair this time to Rocha. Rocha will give to the middle with Sebastian Ramirez. Ball ends up in the far end of your screen, folks. Omar Lopez in possession for the Heat, as he tries to find Villanueva. That ball back with Ferreira. And Rafael will give to the middle with El Torero. Back to Ferreira, this time to Rocha. Rocha in the middle for El Torero Fernandez, not to Sebastian. Sebastian with Joao. Joao has it. Joao loses it. And Sebastian has a one-on-one here. Sebastian will give off the defending position to El Torero. Torero recovers nicely. And El Torero tries to send Salvador Chavaluna forward. That ball bouncing inside the box, and Blundell has no choice but to come out. Chavaluna has it inside the box. There's a foul on the play by Chavaluna. Blundell goes down. And a free kick for the Brilla. That ball towards center with Ramani. Lopez this time to Ferreira. Ferreira to Sebastian. Ramirez will give off to Rocha. And Rocha gives off to Lara. Lara inside with Jair. And Jair is trying to find Salvador Chaluna. Luna picks up the pace. Luna sees that ball sail right to Blundell. No whistle. Robertson towards the middle with Brown. Throw-in coming up for the Brilla. Buffington sends this ball back with Gavin. Ferreira back with Jair. Jair back to Ferreira. Far side of your screen, folks. Ferreira looks to send a cross inside, trying to find Villanueva. Villanueva is held by Brown. And that's Chavaluna, folks, sitting down at midfield. He's holding his hamstring. Looks like he'll be subbed out. Fazlo Alihozic will make his way into play for your Laredo Heat. Salvador Luna goes down due to injury. I hope he's all right. He had injured his hamstring previously, folks, in the game against the Aztecs earlier this week, excuse me, on Tuesday. Said he felt fine, little pain here and there, but nonetheless, he's forced out of this game due to that hamstring coming back. Fazlo Alihozic in place of Salvador Chavaluna. Sebas this time to Rocha. Back to Sebastian Ramirez. And we see the defensive line for your Laredo Heat with a lot of possession, a lot of touches, as they like to play possession and find the openings and play the space game. The Brilla now with the throw-in. Goalie. Ferreira receives and recovers. Hernandez with possession in the middle of the field, this time to Montero. Fazlo Alihozic gets his first touch of the game and will give off to Jorge Rocha. Rocha sends a long ball trying to find Ferreira. Intercepted now by the Brilla. Possession being played by Power. And Gavin looks to send Ramani forward. Sebastian Ramirez recovers for the Heat. Now with Jair. This time that ball sails to Joao Montero. Montero gives off to Jair Hernandez once again. Now this time to Francisco Lara. Lara back to Fazlo Alihozic. Fazlo covers the ball nicely. Gives off to El Torero Fernandez. Fernandez back to Lara. Lara once again to Fernandez. Middle of the field. Back to Alihozic. Hernandez with the bad touch. Alihozic now switching wings entirely as he gives the swing off to Fernandez. The Brilla sent a ball inside, recovered by nobody. And a shot off by Ramani, deflected by the defense of Laredo Heat. A wild shot. Ortega will see this one sail barely over the corner, over the 90-degree end, over the right-hand side corner of the screen, folks, in goal. And that ball will sail out of play for a goal kick coming up for Ortega as he comes out playing with his tocayo, this time to Jair Hernandez. Hernandez inside with El Torero Fernandez. Miguelito sends Lara. Lara cuts inside, gives off to Fazlo Alihozic. Fazlo. Back to Jair. Jair once again. Jorge Rocha with possession for your Heat. He gives off to Lara. Lara with a one-touch pass, this time to Villanueva. Villanueva goes inside. Jair Hernandez with possession. Hernandez cuts inside. Gives off to Montero. Montero has it. Montero's going to send a shot inside. That ball deflected all around inside the box. And Blundell will leave his 6-yard box and come out with possession for the Brilla. The Brilla playing possession now as they are still trying to find that surprising long ball and beat the Heat as they do right now as I am saying this. Cross inside. Nobody in blue inside the box, and Ortega will recover. Alihodzic back to Ortega. Ortega this time to Francisco Lara. Back to Ortega. Buffington doesn't like the fact that he has to chase the ball. That ball goes to Omar Lopez. Lopez to El Torero Fernandez. Fernandez has it, picks up the pace. That ball ends up in the feet of Ferreira. Ferreira to Montero. Montero to Fazlo Alihodzic. Fazlo has it, decides to continue going forward. Now to El Torero Fernandez. Torero has it, this time gives off to Joao Montero. Montero, this time with Jair. Jair has it, sends a shot inside, and that ball bounced off the chest of Blundell before he's able to turtle the ball. That ball goes far. Robertson gets called for a foul. Rocha's jersey being pulled by Robertson. Fazlo now near side of your screen with possession for the Heat. He sends Ferreira forward off a beautiful pass by Alihodzic. Ferreira cutting inside the box has it still. Ferreira doing some sort of witchcraft and wizardry with his feet, sends across his timeout, and Fazlo Alihodzic will receive. Fazlo sends a shot inside, deflected now by the Brilla. Alihodzic gets stepped on. Francisco Lara now will give back to Rocha. And Rocha will give off to Fazlo. Fazlo back to Rocha. Back to Fazlo. Fazlo once again trying to find Omar Lopez. Lopez cuts it. Villanueva will chase, but the Brilla recover nicely, and Torero can't get to it. Slide tackle once again by Power. Gavin. Back to Power. Power to Ashley. Montero recovers. Francisco Lara has a shot opportunity. Gives off to Edwin Villanueva. Villanueva with a bad touch. Villanueva goes down inside the box. No foul. Lara sends a flick this time for El Torero. Fernandez has it, fakes across. Oh, El Torero sends across this time. Far post. Ferreira recovers. Ferreira with the forehand, and that ball goes off to Blundell. Once again, your Laredo Heat are still searching for the 2-1 here. The possession game now by the Brilla. Blundell. Buffington missed a touch on it. Rocha sends it out of play. Substitution coming up for your Laredo Heat as Kevin Hernandez will step on the pitch for Sebastian Ramirez. I wonder if the adjustment will be made with Jaira. However, the Brilla have a shot inside the box. Fazlo Alihodzic loses possession once again. The Brilla recover. Montero can't get there. Ball with Brown. And Brown will send it cross field to Gavin. Good set of touches by the Brilla. There's a shot, but Ortega will get the roller. And that ball ends up with Fazlo Alihodzic once again. Fazlo gets pulled. Kevin Hernandez substituted in for Sebastian Ramirez. Latest adjustment made by coach Fernando Hernandez of the Laredo Heat. And Jair Hernandez, this time to Jorge Rocha. Rocha Looks up, realizes he has Fazlo. Fazlo with a beautiful touch this time to Edwin Villanueva. Villanueva receives near side of your screen, gives off to Montero. Montero has it. Montero playing, holding possession. Gives off to El Torero. Torero brings it down. Once again to Joao. Joao has it. Joao's going to send a shot inside, deflected once again by the Brilla, this time off the feet of Gully. And Ferreira will see it sail for a throw-in. Toro Fernandez. Gives out to Lopez. Lopez to Montero. Montero back to Lopez. Lopez inside, trying to find Ferreira. Joao recovers. Sees it across for Villanueva. Blundell comes out of his 6-yard box and recovers nicely. And Blundell will have a punt here. Kevin Hernandez gives off to Ferreira. Ferreira dribbles around, still has it. Gives off to Rocha. And Rocha near side of the screen now with Francisco Lara. Lara inside with Toro Fernandez, back to Lara. Lara will regather with Rocha. And Rocha will give off to Jair. Jair trying to send out long ball, trying to find Omar Lopez. As Omar Lopez has it, is entering the 18-yard box, sends across inside, deflected once again by the Brilla, and that ball will belong with Joao Montero. He gives off to Fazlo Alihozic. And Fazlo will give off to Rocha. And Rocha this time with Francisco Lara in the sector, the near side of your screen, this time with Miguel Toro Fernandez. Fernandez gets a flick on it, sending it forward. Blundell once again receives, and we'll punt this one out of the way. Hernandez cuts. Hernandez has time, brings that ball down. No one chased. And Hernandez still playing possession game for your Heat. Jair. Lopez. Rocha. Montero. Fernandez. Montero. Alihozic. Villanueva. Alihozic. Fernandez. Brown. Montero gets a forehead on it. That ball sails as it hit the face of Power. Alihozic brings it down, trying to find Villanueva. And now Power with possession. Gives off to Robertson. Ramani. Far side of your screen. Gavin now. Back to Power. Montero receives. Montero recovers. He picks up the pace. First gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear, fifth gear. Here comes Montero. Montero still with possession as he's going to give off to Rafael Ferreira. Ferreira's entering the box. Ferreira takes a shot at goal, and Blundell will recover. Ferreira to El Toro Fernandez. Fernandez with Alihozic. Alihozic holds possession, gives off to Lara. Lara sends across inside, trying to find Villanueva or Lopez. Blundell comes out of his box and receives. Ferreira gets a flick on it. Mississippi on the run. Buffington making the play. As he gives that ball to Ortega. Ortega will just pitch it off to Jair Hernandez. Jorge Rocha. Rocha to Francisco Lara. Lara back to Jorge Rocha. And Jair Hernandez will find possession. And he will give out. This time, Omar Lopez off the pass by. Excuse me, Jorge Rocha now. Lara. Fazlo Alihodzic. Ball sails out of bounds. Brown has it. Brown's trying to send Buffington forward once again. Buffington trying to bring that ball down. No whistle. No foul. Play resumes with Jair Hernandez. Jair off to Miguelito El Torero. Torero to Fazlo Alihodzic. Fazlo will give off to Joao Montero. Montero has it, cuts inside. Joao Montero is going to send a rifle. Good for 3. That ball going over the crossbar between the field goal posts. And Montero wanted to surprise Blundell. Blundell sends this ball high in the air and far off the field. Fernandez will recover. El Torero goes down after a foul. Power, the man that hit Torero Fernandez, will walk away without a card here. Free kick coming up for your Laredo Heat. Montero will line up to give it a right-footed strike. And there's Joao Montero. That ball going forward, trying to find Villanueva. And directly into the hands of Blundell. And Rocha goes down. Jair Hernandez, last man now for the Heat. Possession play by the Brilla. Ramani. Ortega comes out of his 18-yard box and sends this one forward. Brown receives, only to give to Miguelito El Torero Fernandez. Now to Fazlo Alihodzic. Fazlo realizes Joao Montero's making a run. That ball too strong. Joao Montero gets a flick on it. That ball sails out of bounds, but an excellent opportunity for your Laredo Heat to get another goal on the score sheet, to get another goal on the scoreboard. And to get the advantage in this game, Montero sends this one wide as he tried to chip Blundell. And Blundell now will have a few words with his defensive line. There appears to be a foul on the play, folks. That ball wouldn't have counted if it would have gone into goal. There was apparently an offsides or a foul on the field. I did not see what had happened. But a throw-in nonetheless coming up for the Brilla. There's a ball inside between Rocha. Torero Fernandez will see this one sail out of play and will give Jorge Ortega another goal kick. Jair Hernandez to Jorge Rocha. One touch pass to El Torero Fernandez. Fernandez back to Rocha. Near side of your screen. Rocha back to El Torero. El Torero will try to send Omar Lopez forward. Beautiful pass by El Torero. Omar Lopez brings it down nicely. Will send it inside for Lara, And that ball deflected off the feet of the Brilla and cleared now. Ramani will have it as he tried to give to Buffington. Buffington loses possession. Villanueva picks it back up. Villanueva this time goes outside to Ferreira. Lopez near him. Lara now. Back to Lopez. This time it is Lopez, folks, as Jair Hernandez will get the pass by Lopez. Hernandez fakes inside. And Jade has it once again, this time to Lopez. Lopez sends across, trying to find Fazlo Alihodzic. And Robertson will get the clearance. He cuts, beats Montero. Robinson does a túnel to Miguelito El Toro Fernandez. And now the Brilla will hold possession. Robertson back to Gavin. Long ball to the hands of Ortega. Rocha, back to Ortega. Jair sends a long ball trying to find Fazlo Alihodzic. Ortega gets a flick on it to Montero. Montero has it. Montero gives off to Ferreira. Ferreira has it in the midfield. Trying to send Fazlo Alihodzic forward. And is cut by Power. Ferreira gets beat. That ball sails too far. Out of play and a throw-in coming up for your Heat as we approach the last whistle here of the half. Should be the end of the half. Stoppage time only to be added. Villanueva back to Montero. Montero, near side of the screen to Alihodzic. Fazlo will bring it down. Send across inside to the far post. Ferreira will apply pressure and that ball sails out of play. Corner kick coming up for your Laredo Heat. Corner kick. Lara with the left foot. Montero lines up with the right. Montero is a few yards back though, so it looks like Lara will take it. Lara sends his curler right to the hands of Blundell. And Blundell will punt it, trying to send Buffington forward. Foul on the play. That ball belonging to the Heat. Jair Hernandez. Now to Ortega. Back with Jair. That ball sails out of play. Throw in once again. Coming up for your Heat. The Heat wastes no time at all. Villanueva brings it down. Villanueva wanting to hold possession. And the Brilla will get mixed up, get confused, and lose it. Montero cuts inside. Still draw Montero as he dribbles around everybody. Tackle on the play. Advantage given. Nope, the referee will bring the ball back. Call the foul. As Montero goes down, Power, the man that tackled him. And a free kick coming up for your Laredo Heat. Laredo Fernandez lines up to give it a right-footed strike, and I will believe it is Laredo Fernandez who will send this ball in the direction of Blundell. Laredo Fernandez with a shot, and that ball goes directly at Blundell. Blundell, nice job of recovering and getting the ball. Blundell sends this ball forward after bringing the ball down and putting it back in play. And Robertson has it on the near sector of your screen, folks. Robertson sends across inside, right to the hands of Ortega, and Ortega will pitch the ball this time to Ferreira. Ferreira, now with the ball, now with possession, now with a chance for the Laredo Heat as he gives off to Fazlo Alihodzic, but once again Brown is there to cut the ball and intercept the trajectory of the ball. That ball sails out of bounds, out of play, and into the hands of the Heat. Lara to Montero. Montero inside to Torero Fernandez, back to Montero. Montero's going to send a shot! And that ball sails too high in the sky. No good. And Blundell will have a goal kick coming up. Blundell with the goal kick. Folks, halftime is here. Halftime is now, in the first 45 minutes of play are in the books as your Laredo Heat are tied with 1 goal apiece against the hosting Mississippi Brilla. Folks, halftime, 15 minutes. Nice little break here as your Laredo Heat are on the road and looking for 3 points. I will give you an update on the Austin game as soon as I get one. Your Laredo Heat coming off a very good offensive play as they equalize quickly after conceding in the 3rd minute with a goal by Rafael Ferreira after a cross on the near side of the screen by the Heat. That ball being flicked by Villanueva, and Villanueva sending it right to the feet of Ferreira, and Ferreira volleyed it into goal. This battle for 3 continues, folks. We have 45 more minutes coming up where your Laredo Heat are looking for the 3 points as they are not in position to drop any points. So a tie wouldn't necessarily hurt them. It just wouldn't be the result that would favor them either. Austin is facing off against the Sockers in a battle featuring the 1st place in the table versus the 2nd place team. If Austin wins tonight, they will clinch the Mid-South title and a spot in the playoffs. And if Mississippi wins, they will go 8 points ahead of the Heat, depending on this game. But the Heat do have a game in hand. They have 1 game behind. So as Austin Aztecs are dominating possession, they can find a way to beat the defensive line of the Sockers. They have 18 minutes in play. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to come out to the Texas A&M International University Soccer Complex where your Laredo Heat call home this season as they have a halftime penalty kick challenge, and I will be more than glad to tell you all about it, folks. So this is what goes on. You come into the game, you get a raffle ticket per entry. Once you get your raffle ticket, the other end of the ticket will obviously go into the raffle, and around the 20th minute of play in the first half, the raffle will take place. If your number is called out, all you have to do is take a penalty kick against nobody but the goal. That's right, folks. No goalie, No goalie, no defense, no nothing. Just you, the pressure, and the love of the sport. If you are able to make that penalty, you go home with $400, and $100 will be given off to the charity of the night selected by the Laredo Heat Soccer Club. So a total of $500 will be given off per kicker if the penalty is scored. There is 4 raffle winners per game, so a total of $2,000 will be handed out to the lucky winners of the night. All you have to do, folks, once again, is show up. You get a raffle ticket per entry that your number will be put into the raffle, of course. And around the 20th minute of play in the first half, the raffle will take place. If your number is called out, all you have to do is take a penalty kick against nobody but the 3 posts. That's right. No goalie, no defense, nobody in your way but the pressure and the love of the game. Folks, if you are able to make that penalty kick, you go home with $400, and an extra $100 will be donated to the charity of the night selected by the Laredo Heat. So it benefits everybody, folks. Come out. There's also $2 beer at every Laredo Heat home game. That is at the Texas A&M International University Soccer Complex. Tammy U for short. Also, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to support our Laredo Heat Soccer Club under 14 soccer team as they head towards the National President's Cup. All you have to do to help them is donate $5 for another raffle ticket. But folks, the prizes for this raffle are out of this world insane. They are first place. First place winner can drive home in a brand new 2013 Mazda 3. Second place winner will have $1,500 cash in gold. The third place winner will see himself go home with a 50-inch high-definition television screen. Fourth place winner will go home with a brand new PlayStation 4 console. And the fifth place winner will walk away with an autographed Landon Donovan U.S. Soccer jersey. Awesome prizes for $5. Not a heavy investment to go home with a brand new car, an autographed jersey, a new TV, a brand new next generation console, or $1,500 in cash. Gold. Substitutions today for your Laredo Heat: Adrian Padilla, goalie; Cesar Pechi Guerrero, defense; Francisco Pai Gutierrez, defense; Marcus Watt, midfielder; Kevin Hernandez, who already made his way into the game off of the substitution made for Salvador Chavaluna as he is pulled out with a hamstring injury; Marcelo Arata, midfield; and Fazlo Alihozic saw himself in the game as well off substitution. Sebastian Ramirez exited the game early. After 45 minutes of play, we have a tie here in Mississippi. 1 goal apiece. Rafael Ferreira putting his first goal of the PDL season for him on the stats.
All right, we just hit the 4-minute mark. We got 55 seconds left.
Folks, in Laredo we have a halftime penalty kick challenge, and in Mississippi they have an hot dog challenge. See who can eat the most hot dogs in 5 minutes. Looks like they're inspired by the hot dog eating contest from the 4th of July.
20 seconds left. 20 seconds.
Hey, Austin has a concert. Mississippi has eating contests. Your Laredo Heat have given fans an opportunity to go home with $400 in cash, folks. All you have to do is come out to the Texas A&M International University Soccer Complex, buy a ticket, get yourself in the game, be called a winner on the 20th minute, take a penalty kick against nobody, score the penalty kick, and you will find $400 in your wallet. And $100 extra will be given off to the charity of the night selected by the Laredo Heat Soccer Club. Looks like they will give the official count. The first contestant ate 3 hot dogs in 5 minutes.
We have 5 right here.
The second contestant ate 5 in 5 minutes.
I see more than 5 there. 5.5. Oh, look at here. Big Robin. Big round of applause for Big Robin.
Folks, if you saw the challenge on ESPN, this looks like kindergarten here. 5 hot dogs in 5 minutes. "45 more minutes of action coming your way, folks. Don't forget to join our conversation on Twitter by using the hashtag VamosLaredo and Heat10 years. You can also follow me personally by Searching the handle Rodrigo Marina 12. That's RODRIGO MARINA 12. Folks, I am now joined by Adam Geigerman, who will hopefully answer a few of my questions.
Just a few.
Just a few. Adam, thank you for joining me at this halftime here in Mississippi. How'd the trip for you?
Oh man, it wasn't as rough on me as the Albuquerque one was, but anytime you're on a bus that long, it's
Puts a toll on your body.
Yeah, you feel it. So, but looking forward to getting back home after this game. Hopefully after some 3 points to the Laredo Heat. We'll see how it goes in the second half. It really calmed down after that first 10 minutes, didn't it?
Yes, it did. Play really did slow down for both squads. How do you see the contention for playoffs this year for the Mid-South Division?
Gosh, it's the tightest I remember from the past 4 years when I covered the Heat in the Mid-South with the Laredo Morning Times, and then now as I'm a little bit closer to the Heat, it's the closest I can remember. At least the past 3 years, it's always been the Aztecs and the Heat kind of going back and forth for first and second place, and always going into the playoffs together from the Mid-South because only the top two make it. But it's close. And there's a tweet from Laredo Heat general manager J.J. Brilla says, "Vamos Laredo, we need 3 points today, nothing less. Injuries are starting to pile up," and I think that really sums up the first half. Injuries are taking a toll. There's a lot of guys out. 2 starting center backs for the Heat. Wanda Diosibara is out.
Greg
Mulumba is out. Felix Garcia is in a little bit of a sore state.
And we just saw Salvador Luna go out.
Yeah, it seems like
to the
any of the guys that are finding the old onion bag are also finding the bench with Knox.
Excellent way to put it. So Laredo Heat are 5 points behind second place Midland, with 1 game in hand. Midland faces off against Austin tonight. What do you expect from that game?
I expect. Gosh, I don't know. Midland's a tough team. They're clever. They have 2 really good players that are really tall, like to play through the air, and those are also 2 players that they got from the Aztecs that the Aztecs know a lot about. So the Aztecs, with a win, a lot's on the line with the Aztecs. They can win and get the Mid-South crown, and potentially, they're playing for the chance to host the Southern Conference Finals. So a lot's on the line for them, and a lot, of course, is on the line for the Sockers. I'm sure they have one eye on this game as well, just trying to see what their pace is looking at, because we've got 1 extra game to play. So we have potentially, we have 12 points on the line, going into this next half, and then the next 3 games. So actually 16 points, right? Because,
Yep.
So we can, a lot can happen. It's just, we need the Aztecs to kind of step up and do us a favor, put us into the playoffs, essentially. But we also have to do our job.
Yep. It's we can't depend just on the Aztecs, as I'm sure a lot of Heat fans are Aztec fans for the next 2 games, as Midland faces 2 games in a row against them, and Laredo Heat will face 3 games in a row against Mississippi, 2 in Laredo. When are those games, boss?
Those games are going to be on July 10th and then July 12th, so a Thursday and Saturday combo. We'll be back on our home field on the natural grass, which out here we're on a turf pitch. We're the only ones in the division that have natural grass, and sometimes other teams come in and it takes a second for them to adjust. But the strike from Rafa in the first half was a beauty, and I think that the Heat might have found something that they were trying to exploit down the left side with Chava and Chava's speed, but he had to be removed.
Right.
And we'll just see how it goes heading into the second half here.
Sebastian Ramirez left the game. Fazlo Alihozic came in. What have you seen from him, and what do you expect to see in the next 45 minutes?
Fazlo looks creative. He looks like he's doing his job out there. We definitely need him to track back and play a little bit defense, but also we need him to hold up the ball a little bit because he's not going to make the runs that Chava makes. He has a rocket left leg that he can just, fire missiles out of.
Anywhere.
But he needs to be calm. We need him to play with no rust, which is difficult because he hasn't played very much this season. But we'll see. It looks like they're kind of preparing to go out. I know the Brilla are out there and the Heat are coming out of the locker room. So we need Fazlo, we need Rafa. There's some guys off the bench that can definitely help us, I think, even though we've already used two substitutions. Just need everyone to step up to win this game because it looks like Mississippi doesn't plan on giving anything away.
No, Mississippi, though they're not near playoff contention, it looks like they want to close out their season strong, and implying that they'll win tonight will just give them another 3 points on the table, but will adjust their self-esteem and raise and boost it up essentially.
Yeah, they're playing for pride essentially out there. But they're in front of their home crowd. I believe this is their last home game, so they really want to go out with a bang. I know they have a fireworks show coming tonight, so I guess they want to double dip on their bang status. But they're gritty. They showed that scoring in the first 3 minutes. I don't know if that was the Heat coming out flat and the Brilla didn't, or what it was exactly that led to that, because I think that's the earliest goal the Heat have given up all season.
I think it's a combination of both, sir, where, one team comes out flat, the other one comes out not willing to give anything up at all.
And you can see on your screen, you can see Coach Fernando Hernandez rallying the troops still on his way out of the locker room over there on the left side of your screen. He's walking across. He's in all black with the black hat, and he was over there in the middle of the Heat circle, and he was pumping his fist, and he was really trying to rally. So we just have to see if I don't believe they made any changes coming out of the first half, but something's got to give. Hopefully. I don't know how much a draw will really help us. We could pick up a point, and depending on what happens between the Aztecs and the Sockers.
Quickly, boss. Juan Dios Ibarra, Greg Mulamba, both not here. Who needs to step up for the Laredo Heat as a leader here today?
I think everyone's looking to the captain, Yair Hernandez. He's done well. He's played just about every position on the pitch this season other than goalie, and he's got to keep it up. He's got to keep the guys organized and compact. He's playing at center back now after Ramirez came out, so I think he's the one, and then we just need someone to bulge the net, as they say.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, you heard from Adam Gagerman himself. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you being with us as we are ready to get this second half underway. 45 more minutes of play, 45 more minutes of passion, 45 more minutes of soccer, and it all starts now with your Laredo Heat controlling possession. Miguelito El Toro Fernandez gives off to the far sector of your screen with Francisco Lara. Lara back to Ortega. Ortega to Jair Hernandez. Hernandez. Kevin now. Back to Jorge Rocha. Back to Ortega, and we see this a lot from your Laredo Heat, where they play possession and just look for the open spaces. They like to play this long ball towards the center. Lara chasing. Brown recovers. Brown gives off clearance, trying to find Robertson or Ramani. But we see this a lot where your Laredo Heat will just play the possession game and look for the openings and look for spots and just trying to find a channel or a run, I guess, where they can get like an opportunity going. Where they can get an opportunity going. They also like to play this long ball where the defensive line holds it, a run is made on the opposite side of the field, and they lack a surprise through there. Mississippi, however, doesn't look like they're gonna stand back down after conceding quickly after they scored a goal. But your Laredo Heat need 3 points. Your Laredo Heat are playing for more than a game. Your Laredo Heat are playing for more than a record. Your Laredo Heat are in a battle for 3 points, in a battle for playoff contention, and all they need here is a victory. A tie would help. A tie wouldn't hurt, but would not aid either. The Heat still playing possession on their defensive line. Hernandez trying to find Ferreira. Ferreira can't get there. Gavin will send it out of play. Ferreira and Alihodzic now. Alihodzic has it. Alihodzic sends a shot. Blundell gets it. Blundell once again. Rolls it. Gavin now in possession. Ferreira receives. Power comes in, intercepts, sends this ball out of play. Throw in once again for your Laredo Heat Soccer Club. Lopez inside to El Torero. Fernandez. Fernandez has it. Fernandez rolls. Fernandez throws possession. Gives out to Ferreira. Ferreira has it. Ferreira fakes. Ferreira gets stripped. It looks like a booking will come in. And ladies and gentlemen, Tom Gavin is the first player to get into the books tonight. He is the first player to get painted canary yellow. And the first yellow card of the game given off to Tom Gavin. After tripping Rafael Ferreira. Free kick coming up for the Heat. Ferreira looked like he went down hard, and he gets up as he's limping back into play. The coaching staff will give him a couple of more minutes to see how he reacts after the tackle. If he can continue on, he will. If not, another adjustment will be made. Joao Montero lines up, fakes a right-footed strike. Francisco Lara now. Lara sends a cross inside. Blundell once again this time gets double fist on it. And here come the Heat playing now after the recovery. Ferreira. Off to Fazlo Alihodzic. Fazlo wants a surprise, and that ball goes back to Blundell. Blundell can't keep it in play. Corner kick coming up for the Heat. And Fazlo Alihodzic is sending shots from left foot into goal. But all of them have been deflected so far. He hasn't had an open shot. Every shot he's had, they've been deflected off to the corner district. Corner kick far. Fernandez has it inside the box. Fernandez still with possession. Fernandez goes down. Ball still in the Heat. Inside the box of the Brilla, not the Heat. And now Miguel Fernandez goes down. The referee halts the game. Fernandez still on the floor. He's slow to get up. So in a span of less than 3 minutes, we've seen Rafael Ferreira go down. Miguel Fernandez goes down. Earlier in this game, we saw Chavaluna go down, and he had to leave the game. And Sebastian Ramirez left the game as well. Not to mention Juan de Dios Ibarra is out. Greg Mulamba is out. Kike Fernandez is out. Matthew Bram is out. A lot of injuries here, folks, for your Laredo Heat. Two fists once again. That ball inside the box. Couple deflections by the forehead by the Brilla. Frank Lara will give it back to Montero. Montero has it. Montero inside. Montero to Villanueva. Villanueva lets it pass by for Torero Fernandez. Fernandez looking for Villanueva. Too strong of a pass. And Blundell will recover. Blundell sends this ball to the near side of the screen with Robertson. And Robertson will send it back to Blundell. Blundell will have to clear this one, as that ball had a lot of backspin. Fazlo Alihodzic recovers off the bounce. Torero Fernandez now, this time with Rocha. Francisco Lara now. Lara looking for this long ball, looking for Fazlo Alihodzic. Fazlo can't get there. Clearance once again by the Brilla. That ball still is out of play. Montero looks for Fernandez. Fernandez won't get there. Corner given up for your Heat. Montero, right-footed strike. Lara, left-footed strike. Joao sends his ball inside with a curl. However, Blundell puts on the cape and pretends to Superman the punch out of the way. And that ball belongs back to the possession of the Heat. Omar Lopez will finally give a touch to Jorge Ortega. Ortega whistle on the play. Another player goes down, this time inside the box of the Brilla. Brown goes down. Fair play given back to the Heat. Ortega. Rocha. Lara. Back to Rocha. Rocha to Hernandez. Kevin back with Jair. Jair back to Kevin Hernandez. Kevin back to Rocha. And once again, your Laredo Heat defensive line with a lot of possession play. Hernandez, back to Montero. Joao, all the way back to Ortega. Rocha, inside with Ferreira. Ferreira has it. Ferreira looks. Ferreira sees. Ferreira still has possession, dribbling now as he does a couple crossovers. Rafael Ferreira gives off to Toro Fernandez. Ferreira goes down. Ferreira says, give him a yellow. Paint him canary. Paint him canary yellow. It's hit after hit. Tackle after tackle. And all you do is blow the whistle. Give him a card. Put him in the books. Looks like Fazlo wants a left-footed strike. Fernandez wants a right-footed strike. And looks like Fernandez will give off to Fazlo Alihozic. The whistle is blown. Fazlo makes the run. Fazlo Alihozic! That ball curled a little bit too wide, folks. From my angle, it looked like that ball was going in between the three posts, hitting the net, beating Blundell, and bringing your Laredo Heat up a goal. But that ball sailed out of play, and Blundell has a goal kick. The Brilla now with possession. They look for the advantage as well. With a wild shot. Lara will clear with a forehead. Fernandez brings it down now to Alihozic. Fazlo has it this time to Rafael Ferreira. Ferreira will give back to Omar Lopez. And the Heat looks like they will play their defensive possession game once again, yet again. And it looks like it's going to continue. Rocha to Lara. Lara up top with Villanueva. Irving will set it down and let Lara throw it in play. Lara to Milito Fernandez. Fernandez had it inside the box. Fernandez with a shot, and that ball goes wide, far, sails beyond the post. Goal kick coming up for Blundell, and another excellent opportunity for your Laredo Heat to go up a goal here this evening in Mississippi. We are in Clinton, folks. Clinton, Mississippi is the site of today's game. Home of the Arrows. However, also home to the Brilla. Blundell sends this ball almost hitting that bat up top. Ramani back with Gavin. Gavin inside. Brown now. And Lara will sail it out of play. Brown sends the ball deep into the box of the Heat. And Ortega will recover nicely. Rafael Ferreira gets taken down once again. Ferreira says, hey, another foul, another tackle. I go down again, and the book stays in your pocket. Hernandez to Montero. Montero with Lopez. Lopez inside trying to find Villanueva or Fernandez. And the Brilla pick back up. No foul on the play. Lopez gets hit. Buffington, the man with the tackle. But the ref keeps the whistle in his hand, the book in his pocket. And the play resumes. Throw in for the Heat. Lopez up top with Ferreira. Ferreira want to get a flick on it. Gavin battles for it. Gavin sends it backwards. And Lopez sends the ball towards Gavin. Gavin deflects it out of play. Throw in coming up for the Heat as we approach the last half an hour of play. Your Laredo Heat are not in the game. Your Laredo Heat are in a battle, folks. A battle for 3 points. And a battle for playoff contention. Rocha. El Torero Fernandez brings it down. Off to Lara. Lara cuts inside, decides to go wide. Lara gets taken down. No foul, no whistle. Lara doesn't like it. Play resumes with the Brilla. And the Brilla here have a 1-1. Robertson now picks up the ball. Robertson sends a cross. Ortega does a nice job of recovering as Buffington and Almeida had an opportunity to bring up the Brilla in this game. Foul on the play. Whistle is called. And I don't know what the referees are debating here. Foul on the play. The offside flag was up. The referee blew the whistle, but for a foul, not the offsides. Almeida gives off to Gavin. Gavin sends a cross inside. Buffington can't get there. Robertson picks it up on the other end. Folks, far sector of your screen. Robertson gives it up to Fazlo Alikozic. And Fazlo will give off to Montero towards the center. Montero gets taken down. Montero gets called for the foul, and Montero gets painted canary yellow as well. So one person apiece, folks. 2 yellow cards given in this game. One to Montero, one to Gavin. Free kick coming up. Almeida lines up. Buffington lines up. It looks like it will be Buffington that is going to try and beat Jorge Ortega as well, and Jorge Ortega himself. Buffington looked like he was kicking a field goal for the Arrows here. By Buffington. Folks, I have a quick update on the Austin game. They are tied 0-0 at halftime against the Sockers. Your Laredo Heat are tied 1-1 here. Jair Hernandez tries to send Villanueva forward. Villanueva brings it down for Ferreira. Ferreira fakes Hole by Ferreira. Ferreira looking for El Toro Fernandez. Gets up mixed up with Fazlo Alihozic. And that ball sails to the far sector of your screen with Francisco Lara. He sends across inside. Nobody there. Kevin Hernandez brings that ball back on play with a forehead. Jair Hernandez now. Rafael Ferreira near side of your screen. Ferreira once again inside. Rafael Ferreira, ladies and gentlemen, put on the cape today and is doing it all for the Heat. Offside on the play. Fernandez says, look where the line is.
Our next winner from our ICP contest is Shane Marker. He prize is a blue-green merchandise pin. Shane Marker.
Clearance now by the Brilla as they play possession. Buffington. Goalie sends the ball right into the hands of Ortega. Ortega brings it down, gives off to Jair Hernandez. And Rocha to Jair. Jair to Alihozic. Fazlo to Villanueva. Villanueva will send it back to Rocha. And Rocha with Jair. Jair trying to send Omar Lopez forward. Omar Lopez has it. Send across inside. Villanueva too far inside. And that ball will go back to Brown. Brown has it. And Brown will give it out to Almeida. Almeida loses possession for the Brilla. Villanueva gets mixed up with Fazlo Alihozic. Villanueva wanted to play the wall. Alihozic didn't play the wall. And Blundo will bring the ball back in play. Gavin. Montero fights it. Ramadi picks it back up. Slide tackled by Lopez. Ramadi. Cross inside. Alihozic clears it out of play. Throw in. Forehead shot by the Brilla. Took my breath away, folks. I thought that ball was going to go into the goal. A goal kick. Ortega. The Heat come up playing. Villanueva gets called for offside once again. And the Brilla have it now. Gavin brings it down. And Buffington plays it nicely. Off to Almeida. Almeida gets stopped by Hernandez. And the Brilla will make a pair of substitution, folks. Len Smith will come into this game. As will Harrison Mitchell. He'll step onto the game as well. Russell, excuse me. Ramani steps up. Russell and Smith in. Buffington as well. We'll watch the remainder of this game from the bench. Montero has it. Montero stops, brings the ball back into play, and picks up the pace. Montero goes down. Give this ball to Ferreira. And a throw-in coming up for the Heat. Alihozic wastes no time, gives it off to Lara. Francisco Lara! Up with Jair Hernandez. Back with Montero. Montero losing it. And Russell's first shot Goes to Ortega, and Ortega way out of his 18-yard box. Gets a forehand to send this ball out of play. As Smith almost had a shot there. Almeida to Gavin. Gavin inside. Back with Russell. Ball still in play, and Ortega able to stop the trajectory of that ball before it found its way to the back of the net. Almeida to Gavin. Hernandez clears it. And Villanueva gets a flick on it to Ferreira. Ferreira won't get there. That ball goes out of play. And out of a sudden, folks, the coin has been tossed in the air. And if it was on your Laredo Heat sent first, it landed now on the Mississippi Brilla. As they are changing the game here. Montero. Back to Fazlo. Now with Kevin. Kevin to Lara. Lara to Rocha. Rocha to Jair. And once again, this defensive play from your Laredo Heat. Rocha back with possession. Once again to Lara. Lara will refeed it to Rocha. And Rocha will give off to Hernandez. No offsides though. Laredo Heat stumbled a little bit. Can't continue the play. And Hernandez slides tackles and intercepts the trajectory of that ball. Gavin puts it in play as he searched for Russell. Ferreira. Ferreira doing all sorts of witchcraft. Ole by Ferreira. Beautiful move. And now Montero picks possession back up with Kevin. Kevin back to Jair. And Jair will give off to Ortega. So, ladies and gentlemen, Rafael Ferreira dribbling all sorts of ways here. Rocha with Ortega. Ortega to Jair. Jair trying to send players forward. That ball gets intercepted and brought down by Lopez. And now it's Francisco Lara. Lara, near side of your screen with Montero. Montero's entering the box. Jao Montero takes a shot at goal, and Blundell stops it yet again. Folks, Carl Blundell playing the role of Clark Kent here today for the Brilla. And Laredo Heat have yet to find the kryptonite. Fernandez give off to Villanueva. Villanueva trying to recover. Ball now with Ferreira. Ferreira has it inside the box. Rafael Ferreira sends across for Fernandez. Fernandez, that ball gets deflected. Here comes Kevin Hernandez. Kevin decides not to shoot. Gives out to Fazlo. Fazlo Alihodzic a shot once again deflected by the Brilla defense. And that's been the story all night for Fazlo Alihodzic's shots. They've all faced the deflection by the defense. Montero back with Jair. Jair has it. Near side of the screen with Ferreira. Ferreira, who's been dribbling all sorts of ways here, decides to cross over. Sends across, this time to Lara. Lara goes down. No whistle. Lopez foreheads it, this time back with Jair. Brought down by Lee, though. Len Smith. Jair has it. Back with Kevin. Handball. Kevin Hernandez using his hand to assist his play there. And a free kick coming up for the Brilla.
Substitution for Brilla. First minute. James Young leads the game, replaced by Chase Peters.
Gavin. Now with Almeida. And position inside. Ladies and gentlemen, Fall on the play, and a free kick right outside the 18-yard box will be awarded to the Brilla. Ortega doesn't like the call. Free kick coming up for the Brilla, right outside the 18-yard box. Off a beautiful play by the Brilla, as they looked like they were entering the box. Player is brought down, and now the Brilla have a chance to go up a goal here with a free kick. And this time it will be Almeida. Lucas Almeida will try to unequalize the goal. However, he might fake it, as there's another player there in the run. Almeida sets it off, and the shot, however, blocked by the wall of the Heat. And that design play unsuccessful for the Brilla. Gavin will set it for Brown. Brown's been the man to throw in the ball into play constantly throughout the evening here. Brown sends a ball far into the box. Montero gets a flick on it. Fernandez recovers nicely, and here come the Heat. Edebing off to Rafa. Back to Edebing. Edebing with a bad touch, and the Heat lose possession yet again. Ferreira gets there. Russell sends across. Ortega recovers, and Ortega gives off. Too far of a pass to Fazlo Alihodzic. And Lopez says, I don't want any more to do with this ball here. I don't want this possession to continue to grow. I'm going to try to clear it. However, recovered by the Brilla. Gavin has it. Gavin trying to send Smith forward. Hernandez sends it down. Rafael Ferreira once again with a beautiful touch. Villanueva can't continue the play. Almeida trying to dribble, however, that ball into the feet of Power. Power back to Russell. And now Lopez goes down. Ferreira to throw Fernandez. Fernandez back to Almeida. Almeida to Russell. Lopez went down. Play continued from both squads though. And now with Brown. Ladies and gentlemen, following the play, Jorge Rocha gets painted canary yellow. And a free kick coming up once again for the Brilla. Ladies and gentlemen, substitution coming up for the Heat. We'll tell you more about it as soon as I know who's stepping out. I know who's stepping in. And the Brilla will make a substitution as well. Abdehov will step in. Looks like the substitution will be made after this free kick by the Brilla. That ball being deflected once again inside the box. However, Fernandez wants to clear it out. Whistle is blown, I believe. Substitutions to be made now. Abdefov will step in for Robertson, and Marcus Watt will join the dance today as Irving Villanueva will watch the remainder of the game from the bench. Excuse me. Jair Hernandez tries to send El Torero forward. Fernandez can't bring it down. Brown will intercept. And Montero has it now. Off to Ferreira. Ferreira to Fazlo. Fazlo gets inside still. Fazlo as he wants to dance as well. Kevin to Lopez. Throw-in coming up for the Heat. That ball headed towards Fazlo. Marcus Watt with his first touch of the game. Gives off to Jair Hernandez. Hernandez wants to send Miguelito Toro Fernandez forward, and Blundell will come out and grab the ball with both hands, as he secures the possession for the Brilla. As he punts this one forward. Marcus Watt gets a couple touches on it. Gavin to Almeida. Almeida goes out of play.
Recent substitutions by both teams. For Laredo, Irving Villanueva is replaced by Marcus Wyatt. And for Brilla, Stephen Robertson is replaced by Dean F. Davis.
For Lopez to throw the ball back in play. Fall on the play. Rafael Ferreira still says, "Get the book out of your pocket." And there's Hernandez. Joao losing possession. Abdehu still with the ball as he's beating everybody. He gets taken down. Fall on the play. Rocha gets called for the foul. And another free kick coming up for the Brilla. As we approach the last 10 minutes of play, folks, this game is still knotted up. 1 goal apiece. 1 taquito for both squads. The free kick coming up for the Brilla. Almeida tries to send it over the wall. Frank Lara intercepts, though. Stops the original trajectory of that ball. And offsides now. Hernandez to Rocha. Rocha back to Ortega. And Ortega will give to Jair. Jair back to Ortega. Ortega this time to Watt. Marcus playing the long ball game, trying to find Lopez. Lopez trying to send that forehead to Ferreira. Montero has it. Montero to Ferreira. Ferreira with a flick on it. He gives off to Lopez. Lopez is entering the box. Lopez gives off to Torero Fernandez. That ball deflected and recovered now by Almeida as he tries to clear it. Montero gets stripped. Foul on the play. And the Brilla don't like it. Free kick coming up for your Laredo Heat here. Fazlo Alihodzic lines up here. Fazlo sends across inside of the curler. Blundell once again with both hands comes out and punches this ball out of the way as the Brilla try to clear it. Miguel Fernandez has it. Fernandez is going to take a shot at goal. Fernandez goes down. Play continues. Ferreira will catch up with it. Ferreira, bad touch. That ball goes out of bounds, out of play, and into the hands of the Brilla. Substitution now, folks. Marcelo Arata will make his debut here today, as Joao Monteiro will watch the remainder of the game alongside his teammates. Ferreira watches this ball sail out of play and gives off to Marcus Watt. Hernandez has it. Hernandez playing the first bounce. As the Heat are looking for another goal here. Throw in for the Heat. Lara to Toro Fernandez. Fernandez with a shot! And that ball going high in the sky, too far wide. Goal kick coming up for the Brilla once again. Ferreira can intercept. On the move now. Jair Hernandez playing the clearance. Good job of him to keep this ball alive. Ferreira sees this one sail off of the touch by Gavin. And Marcus Watt will give this ball to Lopez. Omarcito gives it off to Ferreira. Ferreira trying to send Miguel Fernandez forward. Ferreira still battling forward against Almeida. Almeida clears it. Rocha intercepts. Marcelo loses possession. Now with Russell. Marcelo stole his possession. He sends Ferreira forward. Ferreira dribbles nicely between two. Plays the Oreo here. Fazla now playing the wall with Lara. Lara won't get there. Ortega bringing this ball down. Handball. There's a hand in the play. Free kick coming up for your Laredo Heat. Today waste no time at all. Miguelito Fernandez has it. Miguelito back with Lara. Lara sends across inside. That ball bouncing around the box, and the corner kick coming up for Laredo. Corner kick now, that ball inside the box, bouncing around. Jair Hernandez takes a shot at goal. Excuse me, that was Marcus Watt. He took a shot at goal, and that ball sailed wide. Goal kick once again coming up for the Brilla, who are looking to withhold the Heat here to a tie with 5 minutes left in play. Hernandez tries to send Fernandez forward. And that ball sailing out of play. Omar Lopez to Marcelo Arata. That ball belonging back with the Heat. Jair sends a crossfield pass to Fazlo Alihozic. Fazlo has it. Fazlo to Marcelo Arata. Arata loses it. And now Abdehu will pick it up. Abdehu quickly gives it off, this time to Almeida. Almeida, near side of your screen, has it. Almeida gives off to Russell. Russell trying to surprise Ortega, and Ortega is able to deflect the ball out of play in the corner kick coming up for the Brilla. Corner kick now, near side of your screen. Corner kick self to second post. Penalty kick giving off to the Brilla. Off a handball. Off the corner. Ladies and gentlemen, hashtag no era penal to join our conversation now. And Gavin will take this one. Gavin has a chance to put up the Brilla here, 2-1. Ortega gets ready. Gavin lines up, takes his stride. Jorge Ortega versus Gavin! And Gavin beats Ortega. And the Brilla go up 2-1 here. And a substitution for the Heat coming up. Cesar Pechi Guerrero comes in for Kevin Hernandez. The Aztecs are leading the Sockers 1-0. And now your Laredo Heat. Your Laredo Heat are trying to send all Arsenal forward as they need a tie here now. The Sockers are losing to the Aztecs in the 52nd minute of play. Following the play, Lara gets called. Lara will bring this one back into play, excuse me. Alihodzic has it. Alihodzic loses it. Throw-in coming up for the Heat once again. That ball sails out of play once again. Throw-in coming up for Lara. 4 minutes of stoppage time, ladies and gentlemen. 4 minutes left for your Laredo Heat to try and equalize this game. 4 minutes left of action. Marcus Watt, belly by another field. Has it, takes long. And now Russell has it. Russell with Abduhu. Ferreira gets called for a handball. Russell. '91st minute, folks. 3 minutes left. 3 minutes is what's left for your Laredo Heat to try to equalize this game. And it looks like there will be a goal kick coming up. There's a substitution. It looks like nobody wants to leave this game, folks. Luke Mason is still on the sideline. He's been there for about a minute. Almeida steps off. Almeida playing the clock management game. Abduhu still has it. Rocha chases. And here comes Smith. Ortega punts this one. Power brings it down in the direction of Abdihu. Last touch by Lara. Ball still in play though. Ball no longer in play as we approach the 93rd minute. Folks, your Laredo Heat have a minute and a half, 90 seconds to try to equalize this game as Jair Hernandez sends his ball forward as he tries to find Pechi Cesar Guerrero. Fazlo Alihozic. Fazlo sends it inside the heart of the Brilla. And Rocha wants to take a shot at goal. Pechi's still battling for it. Pechi chases. Hernandez brings that ball down. Marcelo Arata. Back with Jair. Jair will send it to Fazlo Alihozic. Fazlo won't get there. Frank Lara anticipates the bounce. 20 seconds, ladies and gentlemen, 20 seconds is what's left to be added to this game. As your Laredo Heat are doing what they can to play for a tie here. Russell has it for the Brilla. Now with Smith. Smith looking for Abdihu. Ortega will kick this one out of the way. And ladies and gentlemen, your Laredo Heat are defeated here in Mississippi 2-1 against the hosting Brilla. Your Laredo Heat came into this game needing 3 points. 3 points is what they were searching for. They did not go home with 3. They are not going home with 1. They are going home defeated. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us in this heartbreaking loss by the Heat. We appreciate you joining us. We'll be in Laredo in town. Come out and see us on the 10th and the 12th against the Brilla. Thank you for joining us. See you later. Bye-bye.